Hi, everybody. What a win today. Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And that was a tough place to go to, by the way. Very tough. So listen, boys, listen. I reckon that we're going places this season. We had a terrible time against Arsenal, but the way we've come back now is absolutely unbelievable. And I'm going straight to bring my wonderful guests on. But before I do, I'll have to acknowledge these lovely lads. And Drunk Vigo, Enzo man of the match. He says, Redbird says, can't stop Frank. Hang on, can't stop Frank, got to go out, but we'll catch the replay. Follow the Reds, please, hit the like button. And there's my phone going, and there's bloody Jay phoning me. Hang on a sec. I'm awfully sorry about this. Hello, Jay.
Hello, mate. Just trying to catch you before you went on.
Yeah, I'm on now. I'm actually live.
Jota's on for the season.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for that bad news. I'll have to replay it to the lads. Okay.
Well, I'll catch you in a bit.
Catch you in a bit. Thanks, Jay. Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra. Anfield Row. Oh, listen, thanks, Redbird. Follow the Reds, please. Hit the like button for the league leaders. Besides Frank, needs them for his algorithms. Algorithms. Thank you so much, boys. And Anfield Row, love the after show, Frankie Boys show. Love the after show, Frankie Boys show. I'm waiting patiently for this show. And got the boys show, won't be on Frankie, okay. And Jota one looks bad. Anyway, what we've got is Lee. I've got some bad news. Jota's out for the season. I've got Liverpool 12th man, and there he is. And JK, obviously. I don't know whether you're aware of that, boys, but Jota's out for the season.
Well, I'm not actually surprised because it looked bad when it happened. That fella sat on him, didn't he, after he tackled him?
Yeah.
Or tried to tackle him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was shocking. It was shocking, Jay. Lee. It was shocking. I'll go to Drunk Vigo. Drunk Vigo, are you there? Drunk Vigo. Anyway, I'm sorry there, JK. I've got drunk. Anyway, JK, what you reckon?
Bro, them injuries just took the shine off the game, you know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. It just took the shot. Yeah, it just took the shine off the game. I was so worried about first Jones went, then he went, then Darwin went. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? You know.
Exactly.
Jota's one. The guy landed on his sort of leg, didn't he?
Yeah. He
didn't mean it.
No.
He didn't mean it, but there was an Evertonian sitting next to me, and I said he meant that. And he went, "Oh, I think you're reading too much into that, aren't you, lad?"
As an Evertonian would say. But anyway, I'm going to 12th man. What did you think of the game, and also what did you think of the injuries? To Curtis Jones and also to Jota.
I'm gonna tell you right now that the Diego injury is deflating. It definitely takes a little bit of the shine off of this game. Yeah, I called for one, and it was good to see them go out and score. It was good to see Nunez score. It was good to see, which was a great goal. Nunez goal was just class. For all the people that say that Nunez can't put, really any finesse or any technique on his shots, that shot was an exceptional shot today. but great performance by McAllister. Endo performed well, like was mentioned. It's just that it seems like, you know, it's always like 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes with these injuries, which really hurts. That's the only thing that really suffers or makes you really like take a little bit of a breath, because Diego's been having an exceptional year. And it's something that you don't want to see happen to anyone, but especially when you're flying high like he was.
Well, the thing is as well, for Nunez's goal, which was taken brilliantly, by the way, I think that this is the pass of the season, to be honest, because the ball was coming over and he was running and he was waiting for the ball to appear, because he never turned it out at any. And when the ball appeared, he just nodded it up. What a pass!
Yeah. Great
pass. To Jota, to Nunez.
I think that was the assist of the season, if you allow me to be so bold, Frank. The way he just let it drop onto his head. He's even put no power in it. He knew where Nunez was, and he just let it drop onto his head and just went.
Yeah, passing the season.
In, and the game was 1-0.
That's it. You know, pass of the season for me. I thought it was absolutely. Anfield Road, I'll just go through these people if you don't mind. Anfield Road, Frank, 100%. We are a brilliant club. What a foundation the next manager has to add players to. Great bunch of players, so promising. That's what he says. And as I said, Drunk Vigo said he was man of the match, was Enzo. I can't bloody get it up now. I'll have to go down. Tarnished by injury, says Anfield Raw. Gutted for the 2 lads today. That Nargard fouled and injured Jones too, and Jota. That was Nargard, yeah. That was. Put that in your pipe, 12th man. And as he says, Enzo held the match together, says Drunk Vigo. Klopp took off Mac, not Enzo, and Enzo was on a yellow. That frightened me. I think he could have easily, another referee would have sent him off. I've always said Michael Oliver is the best ref in the Premiership. Yeah. Not only that, another ref, say like that Cooper fella, he could have sent him off. You know, he was already on a yellow, and that fella, you know, when he went in and he was rolling over, you know, lying there, you know, wanting Enzo to be sent off near the end of the game. And I thought, you prat. But as Darryl says, nothing is confirmed with Jota noting on the social media or LFC. Nothing on the social media or LFC website, says Darryl.
Well, it looked bad because he didn't move. Once he was on the stretcher, he didn't move and he looked pissed off. His face lying down looked pissed off.
Yeah. But mind you, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. What suppose you're going to say, JK?
Yeah, it's like with Jones, Darwin as well. Like, you know, like what I don't like about the new generation of football is like people come up with what they think might be happening, and then they think that's official. You know, you got to be. I just wait until it's official. You're out for the season, then we'll move on. You know, until then, maybe he's a miracle and he might be ready for the next game. I don't think so, but you never know in football nowadays. So I'm not going to go too thingy with that one about the injuries. I think. Don't know about Jones's situation. Even Darwin, I thought he was going to come on second half, you know, and like, he just disappeared as well. So God knows what's going on there.
Well, and just before we go, I'll come to you on that, to be honest, because I want your opinion, and I want your truthful opinion, by the way. You know, I don't want hindsight. Is that okay? You know, we can all live with hindsight, if you know what I mean. But anyway. Phil from California, so we haven't only got the 12th man, but also we have a fella from California, absolutely brilliant. Hiya, Phil. Stay well, Phil. Stay with us, because this is going to be a good pod, especially with the guests, you know, with the 12th man, with Lee, and with JK as well. Can we also acknowledge young Bradley again? The lad makes RB, the right back look good defensively again. Just feel for Trent being out, so will we ever see him in midfield? Yes, we have to see him in midfield. We have to. And as Drunk says, Bradley was solid, and I thought Robbo was pretty good too. Yet our defence and Canetta, we were so solid. And I'm going to, I'll start with you, 12th man. Put you in the driving seat and don't think about hindsight. Okay. So, half time, 1-0 up. Yeah, 1-0 up. And when you're seeing the teams coming out and the goal scorer, Nunes, Darwin, not coming out. What was your thoughts? Be honest.
I was hoping that it wasn't a hamstring injury or something, to be honest with you. It was like that's the first thing I think of, because this team's had a bout of hamstring injuries, a bout of unfortunate knocks here or there. But I definitely thought that okay, well, where do we go from here? Basically, I'm like, where are we going to go from here? Because normally you don't see someone get taken out, but I guess it's because of the minutes. I guess because of Klopp saying, I spoke on this yesterday too. Klopp usually gets a list of how many minutes each player can play from the medical team. They'll tell you how many minutes he can play, how many minutes, like or estimate. So I'm hoping that it's just us saving him for this Luton game that's been kind of like pushed in the middle of the final and everything. So I'm hoping it's for that reason.
Yeah, I go along with that. But, with hindsight, was you really worried? Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I knew you big. And I'm going to Lee now, like the 12th says there, and he had to admit. If I was interrogating him, he'd give it away. He'd just give it away. If he was a criminal, he'd be saying, yeah, they all did it. That JK did it, and that Lee Carlson did it, so you'll all be nicked. Anyway, Lee, what do you think? What was your thoughts, really, at half time when Nunes didn't come out for the second half?
To be honest, after we went 1-0 up, I was reasonably happy that we were going to win, and I thought we were going to win. But it's always dicey at 1-0. But once we scored the second goal, I knew the game was over. And once we scored the third goal, it was definitely over.
I'm not talking about that. I'm trying to say,
there's no going back.
Lee, please, listen to what I'm saying. What was your thoughts when, not about hindsight, when they scored and when they scored and, we scored again and again. I'm not talking about that. All I'm talking about is, what was your thoughts? What was your thoughts when he didn't come out? I'll give you my thoughts. I'll give you a big clue, a big hint. I thought that he'd be injured. I thought that he'd be injured. That's what they were my thoughts, and I went, oh no, not again, And that's it.
Yeah, I was worried, Frank. I was worried, we can come out in the second half, and it's ditto with Jota and worried about him now. But we got the job done. We've still got 4 fit forwards and Mo's back. Yeah. So
just imagine, Lee. I'm gonna break in here. I'm sorry to interject, but look who the sub was. When the Jot went off, and who was coming on? Mo. Think about that. What about you, JK? What was your thoughts when the other fellas didn't come out?
I was so gutted. But the thing is, I knew it could be an injury because of the timing of the sub. Klopp never makes half-time subs. I don't really see him do that. He gives the players 10, 15 minutes second half, then he takes them off. So for me, that timing of that sub there, because was it a tactical sub to play Gakpo up top? Because Gakpo did well when he came on anyway. But I can't really see Klopp changing Darwin at half-time unless it's something precautionary, you know. But as I was saying yesterday on the other show, that one thing I'm happy about when Klopp goes is that he takes that medical team and the training team with him. We got to change this. We got to change this, you know. This could cost us a lot of things, you know. Jota got an assist today, looking lively for our best player first half. So getting injuries there, that is the guy landed on him. I can understand it happens. But all in all, I think that getting injured thing always haunts us sometimes, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, fine comments there, because when you get, I'll go to this and I'll talk about this lad. Okay, and I'll go straight to you to 12th. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me just go into this before I go to this. Darryl says Jones and Jota both left on crutches, and Jota in a knee brace. That doesn't bode well. Okay. That's Darryl said that. And Gravenberg stepped up, says drunk. What about you on that particular comment there, 12?
I think he did. I think Gravenberg did step up. He played well, played very more controlled game. One of the more controlled games I've seen from Gravenberg. Usually he's a little bit out of control, you know. But I did want to add another point, though, is that when I did see Cody Gakpo get introduced into the game, which was unique, as JK pointed out, Klopp doesn't really make that many halftime substitutions, but it's something I've been emphasizing. I think I said it on your show too before, but if we can get Cody Gakpo firing, if we can really get him like into the mold that he was before he got his injury against the Spurs, I think then we will see this front line be virtually impossible to stop. Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo, Darwin Nunez. Obviously, I'm gutted by the Diego. I'm preparing for the worst, but expecting the best. I'm hoping for the best, I should say, with Diego. But I mean, Lucho, that is a very versatile approach towards offensive front. And if we can get Cody really scoring once again, get that confidence, that swagger back into him, I'm very optimistic. And
I'm not worried about Cody. 12th man, I'm not worried about Cody. I think he's shown enough already that he's going to be a success at Liverpool. So I'm not worried about Cody.
So, okay. So what did you think about Ryan Gravenberg, Lee? You know, did he step up as a drunk Vigo said?
Yes, I thought it was a control performance, like 12th man said. I thought he did well when he come on and he kept possession. Instead of trying to do anything fantastic, he just kept possession, which is what we needed when we were 3-0 or 3-1 up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. And what about you, JK? Still on Gravenberg, by the way.
For me, that display was for them guys who, for the last weeks, have been moaning 24/7s about Gakpo and Gravenberg. I said to the guys, we got 2 Dutch internationals on the bench who can play football. They wouldn't be at the club if they couldn't. And today I said, we will need them one day and they'll step up, whatever the situation is. And I think Gravenberg and Gakpo second half, for us, didn't let the boat rock, you know? And this is why I say to some fans, football is a squad game. Without these extra guys who are happy to be on the bench as well, you don't make no stress. You don't never hear Gakpo crying or, maybe Gravenberg sometimes. But today they came in, did a job, and that's what football's all about. It's a squad game, and I don't like people keep on comparing like Bradley to Trent now as well. It's going to come up again. Leave that alone, man. Just support the club. We've got enough injuries to worry about instead of comparing players with each other who play for the same team. So, yeah.
I'm happy to take a dump on our players online for no reason.
Oh, yeah. I don't do that.
Gakpo's done enough for me. For me, Gakpo's done enough. Ryan, it's still up in the air. We've got to see it from him. but I think we'll see it from him next season rather than this season. The guy's got to settle into the Premier League, is what I think.
Okay, no, I think they're very good comments. Coming from the panel there. Ian McHale says, "Great win, lads. Just having a post-match pint in the Engineer pub on Oak Street. Just seeing Spring-Heel Jack at the bar." Yeah, that's a cracker. And this other fella, Gary Rigby, "Evening, guys. Great result. I'm having a pint in the post office pub in town. And while they're having pints, I've been trying to eat a bloody cake. Forgot all about coming on. Look, there's my little cake."
Looks
And
like
they're having plenty of pint.
Can you save me
Anyway.
some of that, Frank, from when I come to yours?
No. Well, yeah.
Can you save me a piece from when I come to yours?
Don't give the game away. I had Jay down. He's just been on there when he phoned me up, and we watched the game. I said, "Do you want to come on with me on the pod and meet the lads?" And he said, "I've got to get back." He said, "I've got to take my little lad out, Frankie." So he's taking his little boy out. Anyway, we've got to get back to this Endo, because Drunk says Endo freed up Mac to score that goal. Yes. And Anfield Road, I thought Gravenberch was pretty average today. He needs to learn to stop trying to take on 8 people. Yes. Just do a trick and pass. Gapco for me is still not there. For me, being 24, he needs to step up. So you do have conflicting comments, about Gravenberch, about the likes of Gapco as well. So, conflicting comments. But my point about all this is that, and I'm going to you again, well, got it. When Mo came on, he came on, don't forget he'd been away. He had a little injury. How was it for you to see him coming on the pitch at half time?
If there's anything you can say about how devastated you are to see a player go down with injury, the way he see a player get carted off, it can be deflating. It can be, it can definitely be heart-wrenching as well. But to know that you have the likes and the talents of a Mo Salah that's going to be the person that replaces him on the pitch, that's certainly an uplifting feeling, to say the least. To say that you have that kind of talent, to say you have that kind of, class to be able to not necessarily even replace, but just complement, anyone and everyone on the pitch is an uplifting feeling. So seeing Salah return to the pitch and, shake off the rust, as they say, I was very happy to see that, because we're going to need Mo Salah more so than ever now, especially with, us on the edge of wondering if we're going to be able, if when or where we're going to see Diego, if again this season, what's going to happen with Curtis, like all these different things, all these injuries that are looming, seeing someone like a Salah come on and be able to provide the type of, support that he does and performance that he does, that's uplifting.
Would you agree with that?
I'm appreciative.
Would you agree with what the 12th been saying there, JK?
Exactly, bro. I think with Jota maybe missing now, having Salah coming back, perfect. And this is also what I was saying about the Gravenberch and Gapco situation, how certain fans are always moaning about them, and same with Salah as well. Guy's our highest scorer. He's got the most assists, I think, as well. But still, people were like, "Yeah, Salim." And I know you, Frank, you love Salah, and you don't want him to go. And I'm thinking, the Arsenal game is where we needed Salah, and today he showed that. He came in, got a goal, got an assist. Against Arsenal, we needed that. And I think these sort of topics that certain guys keep on going on about, I think leave it to it. Just like we got a league title to win. We need Salah. We need even Diaz first off. much improved. I think him and Yota are looking dangerous. So the injuries are okay if the guys who are coming in, Gatko as well, step up as well at the same time, you know.
Absolutely. What about you, Lee? What about you? And what we've just been talking about there. Go on.
I'm worried that the loss of Jota could hamstring us, like, for goals.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, what do you think of this?
We've still got 4 forwards. We've still got Salah, Gakpo, Nunes and Diaz. But if Jota's out for the season, that might compromise us slightly, like, goal-wise, because Jota's always in there, like, you know what I mean? He's a menace in the box, isn't he? And if that injury's taking him out for the season, that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt us a lot, like.
Okay, well, I'm feeling right. I'll go straight to you, Lee. Stay with you. Okay, you ready? And it's Anfield Road. What he says, Enzo screened the midfield brilliantly. A fan next to me said he is a red card risk. I laughed and said that's his job, to be on the edge. I'm being honest with you. I've said that myself. I've said that. Because when he got his card today, you know, with that tackle, he's very rash and he just stopped play. This is what he's there for, to break up their play, break up the opposition play. But to me, my heart's in my mouth every time. After a yellow, every time he goes in for a tackle, my heart's in my mouth. What do you think, Lee?
I trust Endo. I think once Endo's on a yellow, he knows how far to go, and he hasn't been sent off yet. So I think this person might be worrying over nothing. I mean, he might get a red card in his Liverpool career, but I haven't seen it coming anytime soon. Like, I've seen him get booked. And he needed to get booked when he's been booked. But I've not seen him come close to getting sent off yet. So I think Endo knows what he's doing.
Okay, what about you, JK, and Endo? And a risk, you know, getting a red, as one of the lads says in the pub with Anfield Road.
For me, Endo is playing the role that he needs to do. And if that means he has to be sort of cautious sometimes, I think as Lee just said about after the yellow card, he sort of changes his game a little bit. He's a cheeky type of number 6, you know. He does the little... We need that sometimes, you know, and I think
Endo's used to getting yellow cards.
Endo's used to always does.
Position. Did Mascherano used to get yellow cards?
He always did,
didn't he? As far as I can remember, Mascherano used to get quite a few yellow cards, but I only remember him getting sent off once in the derby.
Well, my opinion, Mascherano was one of our greatest of all DMs. He was absolutely fabulous. He was. Again, like I said before, every time that Enzo goes in for a tackle, if he's got a red, my heart's in my mouth in case he does get sent off. And I was like that also with Mascherano. So you know what exactly Enzo was doing for the team. You know what he's doing. It's just like what Mascherano did. So, you know, it's sort of
on the edge,
I honestly love Enzo. I reckon Enzo's going to be brilliant. You know, like when Enzo plays more games and that, like, Enzo will be a sweet DM. And he's really fit, physically fit as well. And he's only, what is Enzo, 30?
Absolutely.
Enzo potentially has a few more years in his engine. So, you know,
what about you, 12th and Enzo, and what that fella said, you know, he's at a risk, you know, for the red. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think there's very few or very many more bigger Endo fans than myself. I was pretty much mocked by trying to come out and say this young man to me, but this young man is going to show the reason why he is a part of this club. I think sometimes people get the misconception that you have to have a team of Galacticos to make any type of a real run or anything like that. sometimes you have to have the right players. That's what's more important to me, at least, is to have the right type of players that understand their roles, players that fit roles. And Endo just does that for us. Klopp said it himself. He's like, we desperately need you. He's excited to have this player a part of him. He's been a big fan of him for a long time. And he understands the fact that hard work, dedication, it all pays off on the pitch. And that's exactly what you get out of Endo. It's just straight hard work. And I wouldn't go as far as to say he's a red card walking, but I think Drunk Vigo said it earlier, he's a very high football, he has a very high football intelligence, actually. And I was just told by one of my friends actually over in Asia, actually, that he even has a book. There's a book by Endo out, actually, about the approach that he takes towards the game and the methodical approach of being a real pupil of the game and understanding how to utilize his pace and focus on being a six. So I think that the fouls that I see from him, I don't have a problem with. I think that we've seen him on a yellow card a couple of times already this year, and he's been able to play out the entire game, and that shows, I think, his football IQ. So that's what I would say back.
Excellent.
Yeah, he knows once he's on a yellow that he can't go there again. And he's probably known that all his career because he's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I just wanted to say hello to this chap, Carlyle, because I was getting scammed last night. And because I'm going to tell you how it happened, to be honest. I'll have to tell you how it happened. My daughter phoned, not phoned, she sent me a message and she said, Dad, she said, I need some money, I really need it. I've lost my phone. My phone's in the repair shop and I need to pay this debt right away. So I went, okay. I said, how much do you need? So she told me. I said, okay, no problem. And she said a little thing which our Francine never says, ever. And she says, Dad, you're the best. Our Francine never says that to me. And I went, hang on a minute. So I phoned Francine. And Francine went like that, no, Dad. When I phone rang anyway, so I realised. And she said, no, Dad, you're being scammed. And she gave me the number of the bank. And this is the lads who put everything at ease. He stopped everything. And he said to me at the end of the conversation, after what he did, stopping this bloody scam, he said, are you the blue or the red? I said, I'm a red. And he went, so am I. And there he is. There he is. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for putting me minds at ease and everything last night. And it was late last night, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you, fella. And I've got to look. Now, Francis Lawton is a friend of mine, to be honest. Great entertainer, great singer, and he's always going over to your place, to be honest. Well, he goes mostly to Chicago and around singing, by the way. He's a great fella. Cool. Anyway, he says a fresh Salah could be the catalyst that spurs us on. The victory today was crucial. We can sustain the injuries providing there's no more. Make no mistake, the importance of Salah, both physically and psychologically. Endo reminds me of Mascherano. He gives us what we need, bite and aggression. Straight to you, JK, with that unbelievable comment by Frank Law.
As soon as Salah came on, I knew he was going to score or make an assist. I just had a funny feeling. He looked happy, smiling, and he came into the game at the right time, I would say. And we've seen the importance of him today and the importance of him when he never played against Arsenal. So, and I think with Endo, yeah, he just does the basics okay. He does it well, he's a Japanese international. He's played captain before. and he's doing a job that he just needs to. Okay, he gambles a bit with the yellow card situation where he can get to 2 yellows, but all in all, he's doing a little shift, and I'm happy for him.
Okay,
Like
Lee.
you said, it's football and IQ, isn't it? It's football and IQ with Enzo. He knows when he's been in once that he can't go in hard again.
Yes,
That's the life of a defensive midfielder. If you get booked, you've got to be a bit circumspect, like, and not go in hard again. And then so far.
But what about his comments on Salah, about Salah being a catalyst to spur us on? Lee.
To be honest, like, we'd already won the game, but I was glad to see the man come on, like.
Okay, you 12. What do you think of that? I think it's a fine comment.
I think it's a fine comment too. I think it's actually a poignant one, because I think that the poignant piece of it, at least to me, is that, look, we need our superstar to be a superstar. You know, Diego has really held us up with his goal scoring. Diego has been a really amazing spark for this club in our scoring, at least. And right now, that I've said it once, I'll say it again, that next man up mentality has to be out there. But if there's anything that we need our superstars to play as superstars. And as usual, that's what we've come to expect from Mo Salah, you know, and that's what we'll need from him in more ways than one throughout this entire year for all the competitions.
Well, I'll stay with you. 12th, okay. You're in the hot seat again. And it's what Anfield Roar says. I'd like to ask the panel who you'd sign, by the way, 12, in the summer. And that goes for you as well, Lee. Just answer the question. And obviously, JK. So, I'll say it again. I'd like to ask the panel who you'd sign in the summer to improve this squad. Sorry, there, 12th. It's up to you.
It's up to me. Oh, wow. It does depend on who goes and who stays, obviously. And depends on the manager that we get. What's his vision for us? Like, is it going to be more defensive vision? Is it going to be a more offensive vision? Wow, that's a really difficult question. I mean, right now there's a guy named Mbappe is on the market currently, so we can certainly sign him. Why not just Sanders?
Mbappe's bad on this part.
12 man, you're an agent of mischief.
I know that
That's what you are. You're an agent of mischief.
Yeah, an agent, yeah. Provocateur, Asian provocateur. Yeah, we all love him. Anyway, Lee, I'll go to you on that. You know, about who would you like to see Liverpool sign? I know who I'd like to sign. I'm going to mention a couple of players. Incapi and Vert. I really would like to see them. And I'd love that lad. I know we're not going to get them, by the way, because FSG won't fork out. And I'm glad I said fork out rather than... Anyway, I'd like to see that lad who plays for Napoli on the right wing with the unpronounceable name.
Carlyle.
Yeah, look, see, I'm telling you what, he's an Asian provocateur because I think he comes from behind the Iron Curtain. And
I can't pronounce his first name.
He's a sleeper. I can't pronounce
his first name, and I've forgotten what his first name is, but I know it's Carlyle. No, to be serious for 1 second, I would like a centre-back. I think we need a centre-back to replace Matip, and that's who I want. And I'd like it to be a left-footed one to balance our squad out. Okay, Manchester City have got 5 centre-halves. 3 of them are right-footed, 2 of them are left-footed, Ake and Vardiel. So I'd like us to have one left-footed option to give us balance. I think it'd give the squad balance and equilibrium to have a left-footed centre-half. Don't forget, Virgil can play right-hand side. He plays right-hand side with the Netherlands when Ake is playing left-hand side. So Virgil can move over. No bloody problem. Virgil's a great centre-half. He can play either side. So if we get a left footer, I'd be pleased. That's what I want. I want a left-footed centre-half. We haven't had one since Mamadou Sakho, and I'd like another one.
Okay, same to you, JK. Who would you like Liverpool to sign? I agree, by the way, JK. I agree with what Lee's saying. You know, we do need a left-sided centre-back. And we've been saying that, haven't we, for, since last season.
It wouldn't bloody hurt, would it? It wouldn't bloody hurt to have a left-footed centre-half when the rest of them...
I know Klopp even wants him, but we won't go to that yet, because I want JK to answer who he'd like to have.
I think that's a tricky question, bro, because you don't know who's leaving, who's coming, and manager, this, that, and the other. So, but for me, a DM more than a centre back. But I think a lot of fans want a centre back. You got that guy in Portugal. He's a goal scoring centre back, so he's an option. And you got the guy from Leverkusen, like Happy. So, but for me, a DM, a top quality 24-5-year-old DM who's going to be like doing what Endo does, but better. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go to the 12th man again, unfortunately. I'm going to go and mention these, okay? And Kyle, who's my best mate at the moment, my very best mate, Kyle, who saved me a lot of money last night. And he says, I think if we get Xabi Alonso, we don't need to sign anyone with the system he plays. Now, let me carry on, because he says as well, Incapi from Leverkusen is quality. And he also says, which answers everything in my opinion. I wanted Incapi. I wanted him this season, the beginning of the season. He's a left-footed centre-back. That's who we need. And Justin F. Ante, what a name. Justin F. Ante. Not Hoffman, but Justin F. Ante, what a name. Incapi, very high-quality centre-back. Yes. And our 12th man who's actually there telling everybody, Wirtz is a great shout. If I could sign someone, I'd like to sign Kubo on the right wing and De Ligt at centre-back. That's they're very good shouts there, actually.
As far as I'm concerned, Frank, another centre-back won't block Quansah's progress, because Quansah has still got some progress to make, as the Burnley game displayed. So Jarell will be okay. We've got Canate, we've got Gomez, we've got Jarell, we've got Van Dijk. They're all right-footed. So just one left footer would please me. So we've got an option that way.
Okay, what about you, 12?
When it comes to that comment earlier about bringing in players for
Alonso? Yes, you've said Wirtz. I'd like you to talk about Wirtz, being a great shout.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you'd like is Kubo and the other fella.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of options that are currently at Bayern Leverkusen that are incredible talents. Frimpong is a great player. Got a lot of talent, a lot of pace behind him that could be utilized on the wing for us. There is obviously Wirtz, who's a very, very talented younger player, I should say, that has like an incredible upside. Hincape is good option again, left-footed back. That would be a good option. I do like Kubo a lot. I've been very high on him. I think now that we do have a Japanese player on the team, it would be kind of a nice addition to have, because it's the reason why I think that a lot of our Brazilians have really prospered so well on the team. For instance, is because when you have players that speak your native tongue, that understand your culture, you're able to like feel more at home and everything. So those things would be nice. And, obviously, Wataru being the leader of the Japanese team, obviously he would have a lot of big influence on Kubo as well. But I don't know if I think Alonso is going to make some changes to this team. I understand that comment that there's not much that he would have to change. But I think that like most coaches will come in with a vision of what they want. And they're going to have players that they know that they can get it out of. And they'll have players that just don't fit what it is that they have in mind. So I'm prepared to see some names go, and I'm prepared to see some new names be brought in. But I don't mind if no names. If we don't bring anyone in, I don't think it's a catastrophe. I think
so. What you're more or less saying as well is what Kyle said. About if Xabi comes, we don't need to sign anybody, not with the system we have. But I'm just worried about these bloody injuries, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's what gets me. But anyway,
quick. I just want to tell Drunk. Me as a Liverpool fan, I don't overhype players. I let them come in, do their job, and I will applaud them when they do something well and stuff. So, like, hater is not in my vocabulary. Endo is 30, 31. He'll play for us for maybe 2 seasons. He's not the best DM in the world, because that's Rodri. So, I'm respect. I was going to give him funny thing is, I was going to give him man of the match today, Endo. He was my man of the match. So, sometimes, think before you say something, bro.
Well, that's a good shout there. One of the commentators who, I was watching, he gave it to Mo Salah. He said because he came on, he calms everybody down, scores a goal and an assist. So that's why he voted him man of the match.
It was bloody good to see him back. It was good to see him back. What I must say is, if there's one area of our squad that needs attention, it is the centre-back area. If Joel's finished now, which, if Joel isn't finished and he can have another season, then I'd be happy with that. But I'm not sure that the new manager will see Joel having a new season. So what I'd like is for us to do what's needed and buy another centre-half, because we need one. We do need one. At the moment, we don't need another striker. Mo's got another year on his contract, and we'll replace him when we replace him. We've got enough midfielders at the moment. Yes, I'd like a brilliant DM who everybody loves and everybody says is brilliant. But, we've got Endo for now. We've got Matt, we've got Bajcetic. So what I want to see is a centre-half, because we desperately need one. And we have for the last 4 or 5 years. We have.
No, you're right. Can I come in there, please? I want to send a message to JK. JK, can you send a link to K-Mac? Please send a message to K-Mac. Thank you so much.
I'll send it to him for you, Frank.
Oh, will you? Oh, thank you. What a man. What a man. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see.
Frank, real quick too, though, are we doing man of the match right now, or I heard you mention it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we're not doing man of the match yet.
Okay.
If that's fair.
I send the link.
Okay.
I was man of the match. I said some hilarious things in the pub.
You're man of the pub.
Yeah, I thought they were funny anyway, 12 man. I had an Evertonian sitting next to me, but he's a lovely guy, a nice guy. Ando, his name is. His daughter works behind the bar, like. Okay. Evertonian, but so's me dad. 12 man, my dad's an Evertonian.
Okay.
But him and my mum divorced when I was 7, like, and I was only into Star Wars figures.
God, blimey, what are you calling that? I might as well give you my life story about,
this is your life. Where's that book? Remember that book? Mike Aspinall, was it? This is your life. He used to come on the stage.
Hey, look, no, bloody hell, it's a serious thing. I could have been an Evertonian. And
No,
that would have
oh,
been.
now it's
Although
serious.
I love me dad a lot, like, but I could have been an Evertonian, and that would have been horrible for me.
I always remember what you were talking about there. There was a fella named Mike Yarwood, right? And the Irish fella, who did This Is Your Life. You see, there was a sketch where you see a man and woman in bed, right? Mike Yarwood, and he didn't have to take him up. And you just see him coming up in the middle of the bed with his red book and his mic, and he says, Jimmy, there you are. He said, womanizer, philanderer, cheater, this is your life. Brilliant. Absolutely.
I used
brilliant.
to like his. Didn't he used to do an impression of?
He did everyone.
Michael Parkinson.
Yeah.
Michael Parkinson. That one used to make me laugh.
I'm going to bring K Mac on now. He's a great impersonator as well. This fella isn't really K Mac. It's an impersonator, and there he is.
Afternoon, Kay.
And there he is.
Oh, that fight when he got Jimmy Savile on, didn't it? That didn't age well.
Well, anyway, look at them. Look, I'm feeling all. Look, Frank's flipping out again at Lee. But anyway, I'm just going to you. I mentioned before, well, someone, the comment mentioned before about Endo being like more or less pivotal for the win today, breaking up play. What was your take on Endo today?
Endo was sensational. He was involved in the 2 goals that we scored.
Yeah.
He won the headers.
Yes.
He was absolutely sensational today. I still don't know how he wasn't sent off. Like, that was a second yellow card.
When he went in. Well, one of the lads came back, and I like your opinion on this. He was having a drink, and he was standing next to a Liverpool supporter, a red like us. And he said, the lad said to him, he said, listen, he said, he's a red card all the time. He's a red card. Not like, every game that he plays, could easily be a red card for Endo. What's your take on that?
No,
I get it, but it's not true. I get it, but it ain't true.
Like, he's what's the name, isn't he? He's a warrior, and he really is. Like, I mean, he wears a gum shield. Like, that's all you need to know. It's the fact that he does pick up a lot of yellows early on, but he's a bit like Fabinho, where he just manages the game, like, and knows that, like, he can't get another yellow. He's really involved in the game, like, a lot more than Fabinho was, if you really ask me that. And I think having him can release McAllister forward more. And as you can see today, McAllister he's a monster as a number 8. Like, that finish was fantastic. He was so involved in the game today going forward. He just gives our midfielders a lease of life to be able to express themselves more, knowing that they've got him to cover for them. But he also gets forward as well.
Yeah,
like, he gets involved in the game. Like, he played some really good passes forward as well to start the counter attack. I just think he's a really shrewd signing. Really shrewd signing that fits our team.
Yeah, Mac's an 8. At the end of the day, Mac's an 8. He can play the 6, but he's an 8.
I'm staying with you, K-Mac. And that Richard Hutchinson says, what do you think about Kelleher in the net today?
I thought he was brilliant. Even the goal they scored, it was a really good save.
Yeah.
To stop it from. I mean, we should have had a defender there, really. We should have had a defender to clear that. 9 times out of 10, we probably would have had a defender there to clear that, but we were a bit too far forward.
Yeah.
Robbo kind of lost the ball in a position where he was too high up. We were all kind of lopsided on the left. Everyone was kind of over on the left-hand side, as we do. We didn't have enough players on the right, and they kind of broke on us there. But these things happen. Like, Brentford are a good team. Like,
Yeah,
we've
the
not
way
won
we
against them
play,
twice now at their ground.
the
So
way
to
we
go
play
there and
with the
smash
high
them,
line, there's always a chance someone might score.
yeah.
Well, it'll be your turn in a moment, Lee. Anyway, JK, and then JK, then 12th, then you, Lee. Okay, now let them talk, please. For Frank, let them talk. Right. JK, what do you think about Kelleher today?
Probably his
Yeah.
best game in a while.
Yeah.
Uh, On the goal, he couldn't really do nothing. Top save first. Maybe he could have straightened his hand out and the ball went to the right. But all in all, I felt confident with him. So no complaints.
Okay, no, I think that's a very good comment. Confident. This is what we need. What about you, 12? About Kelleher?
It's kind of stole a little bit of my thunder. Actually, that's why I asked about the man of the match. I thought Kelleher had a man of the match type performance today. To be honest, despite letting up the goal, I get that he let up that goal, but I mean, he made a great save before that. He made another great save even before that. He made some really, really talented saves. I know that there was pushback to ask, when does Kelleher, on a couple different broadcasts, at least when does Kelleher ever make those kinds of saves, or when he's in net, do you feel the same assurance that you do with Allison in net? Look, I think Kelleher is a very talented goalkeeper. We're blessed to have Allison, obviously, but I mean, we're also blessed to have a talent as our number 2 in the net, and today I think it really showed that he was really, really bothered the fact that he let that goal in. You could tell that he was, you saw by the scream that he let out, just anger about the fact that he made a great save. As K-Max said, there was no one right there that could have cleared it for us. But he knows that he was playing really well today, and I think that's something that's a promising sight for us, because we're going to need him. If Ali's going to be out for a little while, we're going to need him. We would have seen him,
but we don't know how long he's going
right.
to be out with a bloody hamstring injury. Hang on a minute, hamstring injury. To a
We're not having no luck, are we? We're not having no luck with injuries.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And as Gary Richards says, Liverpool will win the bloody Prem, and Enzo is a beast. I think that's. The
thing with Kelleher is he is a talented keeper, but if Ali's out for a while, Queven just needs a few more games. Okay, he's not Ali. We all know he's not Ali. Everyone can see he's not Ali. But the lad who's talented, he just needs a few more games, I think, to get into his action, or whatever the bloody hell you call it, into his vibe. And we might get more out of him. I just hope Ali isn't out for long, because we need Ali if we're going to challenge.
Can I just say something on Queven, by the way? And it's a positive, by the way. It's a negative, and it's a positive on a negative. Okay, so the issue I've had with Queven, and we all have this season, is he's looked really rusty because he's just been chucked into games and he's not had any kind of build up, and he's not really played enough games to get into any kind of form. The reason why he was so good over the last couple of seasons is because he was given more games, because he was given more runs of games, as in he played a couple of different cups. This season, he's only been allowed to play 2 cups, and they've been very spaced out, the games. So he's not really had a block of games where he's done 1, 2, 3, if you know what I mean. I actually think Ali not being fit for these next 2 games, it could be a really deciding factor in us winning the cup, because if Ali was fit, he would play the last game, today's game, and the next game, and then Queven comes in cold for the cup final. the fact that Queven's going to come into the cup final off the back of 3 games in a row, I think that's a really big factor, and I think we'll win the cup with Queven in goal.
It's a bonus, isn't it? It's a bonus.
It's a really big deal. Do you remember the games where we obviously beat Chelsea in the cup?
Yeah.
Queven played brilliant and scored a penalty.
Look, Ali being injured is not a bonus in anyone's.
No, it's not a bonus. It's not a bonus, but it's the fact that the games
playing more games will allow him to show that he is actually a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah, and it's the fact that the games aren't against top opposition, like they are against the likes of Brentford, who are playing really poorly at the moment and could possibly be in the relegation zone. And I really hope we're not looking at that manager, by the way. And obviously you've got Luton. Luton are on a poor run of form lately. Yeah, they've had a few wins under their belt and a couple of draws, but they're actually conceding loads of goals now. So this could be a really good time for Queven to play a block of games before the final, because when he comes into the final, he's going to be on form and he's going to have played games and had game time. Bringing him in cold, I don't think he's looked good, but I don't think that's his fault. But I do think that at the end of this season, Queven probably will go to another Premier League club and we'll probably get like 15-20 million off him. He's a Premier League goalkeeper who can't be a backup. Like, he needs to play more.
But we don't know how we don't know how serious his injury is, by the way.
Ali's just injury prone. Like, Ali's just injury prone. We just have to admit that now. He's an injury prone goalkeeper. It's 2 hamstrings in one season. That's just unheard of for a goalie.
How's he got an hamstring injury, a goalie? Was he running up and down doing that lactose palaver?
It's just kicking it. It's the way he kicks it.
Go on.
I'll let someone else talk.
No.
Go on, 12 man, jump in.
It is. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I would say that the fact that he was coming back from the flu, when you're coming back from sickness, you're obviously dehydrated. You're more likely to be dehydrated. Your muscles are going to be a little bit more like weak, and for you to get back, it's very similar to I see it almost as it's very similar to. There's a game that I remember BBD came back from an illness, and you could tell that he was just off a little bit. He just wasn't firing on all cylinders like we normally expected, and it was because when all you can probably eat is chicken soup, or when you're almost like a liquid diet in essence, you don't necessarily get all of the nutrients and everything else that you need to be on the same levels. But I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying that possibly could be reasons why he ended up pulling a hamstring.
Okay. What about you, JK? What about you? And Allison and his hamstring, and how long will he be out for? This is the problem we have. Well, first and foremost, if he's fit for next Sunday, will he play?
Yeah, question is, I think our our weak point this season is going to be injuries, and I think they're just coming at the wrong time now. I think, thank God, Salah came back today, but as I was saying, when Klopp goes, take the whole medical team, training team with him, and let's start fresh. We can't afford. This is I'm not going to say it's going to cost us the title, but all in all, we just don't need these injuries. So, Alisson,
JK, the loss of Jota, and if Alisson is out for more than 2 weeks or whatever it is, it could hurt us, because City's players are all back now. City's players don't get as many injuries. Okay, De Bruyne has been injured and Haaland's been injured, but it was the De Bruyne one. He's had them before. Haaland, he was injured for 3 weeks. But our squad, players are just dropping like flies. And it's got to have something to do with the training regime, I think.
Okay,
That's not particularly true about Man City, by the way, because Bernardo Silva's injured, and also
How was he injured now?
Yeah,
Good.
Gravadol's injured as well. Man City get injuries.
Yeah.
Look. I've been on a couple of shows now, and I've just heard everyone like just slating Liverpool's medical department. Have you seen how many games we played this season? We're still in every single competition.
Yeah.
We haven't got this gigantic squad that everyone thinks we have, and we can't play all the kids all the time. So at the end of the day, we're playing 5 subs every single game. Like, a lot of players are having a lot of workloads, but I just think it's across the board. And the Alisson thing, Ali gets injured. We just have to understand that now. Like, he gets injured. He's an injury-prone goalkeeper. I think this is like his 8th injury with Liverpool, which is nuts for a goalkeeper, but it just is. Like, Trent Alexander-Arnold, I don't really understand that one. And the Thiago thing, I don't really understand that one. I'm not really sure they were fit to play. They didn't look fit to play. So we can kind of look at that. But we kind of know why Sabolsai's injured, because he's running like 13, 14 miles every game. Like, he's injured because he's ran an incredible amount of distance this year, and his body's just not ready for it, because he's not done it that much in the other teams. And we've just had big workloads because we're in every competition. Like we can all sit here and go, oh, it'd be great if we didn't have injuries. Well, maybe we wouldn't have as many injuries, but then we wouldn't be in as many cups.
Well, I agree with you, K-Mac, about the medical team, simply because they're not going out on the training pitch and saying do this and do that and that, albeit that they stand at the side. It's the backroom staff who train the players. That's who train them. And if the likes of Xabi brings in, his backroom staff, I think there'd be, in my opinion, I think there'd be a lot less injuries. And I'm going to stay with you.
Style of play, it looks a bit less labour intensive than Jurgen's. It's more about ball retention, like Guardiola's model, innit, than Jurgen's.
Well, Neil Lancaster says, and I'll stay with you there, K-Mac, great performance, look more solid with Endo and Bradley in, because no one's mentioned young Bradley. What's your take on that particular comment with Endo and Bradley being more solid?
So Bradley gave us width in the first half. He was absolutely sensational. Second half, he played inverted, which was a bit nuts, because I didn't think that he could actually do that, but he did, and he was really good. He also played in a position where he helped McAllister get forward more, and that's probably the reason why McAllister scored that goal and kind of finished the game off. And he also created a lot more as well. I mean, he had a really good shot where their goalie pulled off a great save. Like, that could have been another 30-yarder from him, which would have been 2 goals, 3 assists in 4 Premier League games.
Yeah.
Endo just solidifies our midfield. He's everywhere. He's just he never looks like he's tired either. Have you noticed? He never looks like he's hanging. Like Endo, he just looks like he's just walked onto the pitch. He's just like, yeah.
That's because he runs when he has to.
Just a monster. Like, he's such a good signing. Like,
he knows
16 million
to get into, and he knows when he has to put his legs in gear.
Can you imagine Endo in Chelsea's midfield? Like he would completely revolutionise them. Like, just to be able to do that. Like, you stick an Endo in any team, he just completely changes the midfield, and you'll win all your battles. Like, they've got a good team. Like, they've got a really good battling team. Like, they were fighting everywhere across the pitch today. Like, it was blood and guts for them. Like, they really needed a win. And it could have been 6. It could have been 6, really.
Easily. Yeah. And Soulboy says, Enzo more often than not chooses. I'm going straight to you, Lee.
Gravenberch was good today. I won't say no more.
No, I want to end with you on this. Enzo more often than not chooses the right pass. Now, I was watching it today with Jay, my mate. As we were watching it, he said, totally agrees with him, he didn't have to say it, but he said he does the simple things of passing. Gets the ball, passes it right away. And that's what he was doing all through the game. Anyway, carries on by saying Gravenberch has to step up now unless Szoboszlai is back next week. What do you think?
I feel like Gravenberch is great on the left. Like he looks solid on the left. Like he won a really good header from a corner, by the way, if you remember that.
Yeah.
That was good to see. He won a couple of tackles. I felt like he had a point to prove when he came on. And he really put his mark on the game.
I think he did prove the point.
Yeah.
And it's only what Lee said before came back. He went, okay, I've got to do something. I've got to prove a point. And he played. I think that was the best game. We played, to be honest.
Yeah.
For Liverpool, I've never seen it because I've always, I've been touch and go with him, to be honest. And today he showed, as Lee said before, a lot of potential.
What was funny with Gravenberch as well is if you have a look at the end of the game, Klopp goes over to him and gives him a slap.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I saw that.
And it was like, I know what you're doing there, Klopp.
Yeah.
He's not the only. He smacked Endo in the face too, like that.
Yeah.
He's a little like
more,
James Milner.
Gravenberch was given more specific instructions today to just hold on to the ball and be more circumspect in his performance. Keep hold of the ball, do a few things, get your foot in. Don't try and take everyone on. We know you can do that. You'll do that next season or the season after. Do all the bits and bobs for now, and we'll be pleased. And that's what he's done.
Okay. I'll be coming back to you on that, Richard, later on. Okay, that particular comment. And Michael Day, he says, hi, everyone. Kelleher, I can't pronounce his name, unfortunately. It's too much Gaelic for me. Quahim. Anyway, a fellow Corkman was fabulous today. The Premier League was in a local shopping centre here yesterday. Huge crowds to see it, but they had it draped in blue and white ribbons. Couldn't get a pic taken. Isn't that great? Okay. We need another good first or second choice to Alisson. What do you think about that? And I'm going straight to you, 12th.
We need another very good first or second choice to challenge Alisson.
I think Keller will be away, to be honest. I think he'll be.
Oh, you think he'll be? You think this is last year? Saying?
Yes.
I don't necessarily. Goalkeepers are different when it comes to, or at least for me, they're different in that you can see a goalkeeper go, game after game after game, get a lot of runs on games and such. It's all about confidence when it comes to a goalkeeper. I don't necessarily know if I need another backup goalkeeper challenging Alisson. I just think that if anything, we just have to keep our goalkeepers' confidence high, because the biggest thing about, again, goalkeeping for me, I was a goalkeeper myself. Your play is always your confidence, and that's one of the biggest attributes you have to have being a goalkeeper, is having high confidence. We saw a dip in confidence for Kelleher for a little while, where he was somewhat not his stellar self, or to the levels at least that he's expecting, especially considering that he's probably wanting to take on a first team role at some club. But if he's going to take a first team role at a club, he's got to have first team type performances. And I'm hoping that Kelleher can do that. I don't need him to be, trying to push Alisson out the way. That's kind of that's not going to happen. Let's be
Okay.
realistic.
What about you, Lee?
Yeah, I'm. When Callagher was first brought in a few games ago in the Europa League and that, he didn't look that good, but that's because he was brought in cold. Goalkeepers need games. Any
Okay,
players,
yeah.
any players need games to get like what Klopp's word is rhythm, and goalkeepers need rhythm. So if Ali's going to be out for a bit and Queven gets to play a few games, hopefully he'll show a bit more of his form. I think he does need to wake up a bit from set pieces, which Ali is better on. But his shot stopping's not bad. Queven ain't a bad shot stopper. And he does get out quickly, like when people are in on him, which he's learned
He did
from
it
Ali.
twice against Burnley, didn't he? And he did it again today.
Yeah.
You know, so he's very good at coming out of his area, you know, to stop these.
He needs to improve his positioning on corners and free kicks and maybe on crosses. But he's a kid, isn't he, for a goalie? And goalies take a while to season, and Queven's young.
Okay, I'm going to go to the couple of these. Okay, and keep JK. You know, you talk about Kelleher, and I think he'll be going at the end of the season. So we'll have to get a top-notch second choice. What's your take on it?
No, for me, it was that Southampton last game of the season away where we let 4 goals in. That was the first time I ever queried Kelleher, and from that game he didn't really improve. But today, I would say that's how I want him to play in the next few games, because I think Alisson isn't going to be ready for the final. But today he was situated on the pitch right. He was kicking right. He did a few good saves. So you only can support the lad, you know what I mean? And if he wants to be a regular for another team, that's his choice. But with the way football is now, he's getting a lot of game time this season. Like Alisson's been injured a few times, hasn't he? He had the flu. Now he's got the hamstring. So maybe he'd be like, you know what? I'm getting enough game time at Liverpool for me. I'm at a big club. I'm not sure. So
okay, I'm gonna go through these, and I'm gonna go straight to K-Mac, because there's a little comment here. I love his take on it. But just let me go through these. TW says Klopp says after the game he has no idea what is wrong with Alisson yet. Keep it real says 70% more muscle injuries than any other PL team, because you love doing stats. I know that, K-Mac. Since Klopp joins as Liverpool manager, that's a hell of a lot of percentage there. And Richard says Klopp and coach high intensity training cost us injuries, trophies and titles. We need to do something about it. And these are all you know, I think they're damning. I really do. Damning comments about injuries. I'm going straight to K-Mac there, Lee. What do you think of that? What do you think of those comments there? And they're all about the injuries, by the way.
I think the biggest one for me is hamstrings. Like, we have like 60% more hamstring injuries than any other Premier League team. You know, look, we know that Klopp does double sessions, triple sessions. Like, we know that. Like, we know he's got this intensity thing where a lot of players say that, look, you can only play for 4 years, 5 years under Klopp, and then you're done. You know, it proofs in the pudding, really. We've seen so many players drop off a cliff because they just can't cope with the intensity of what Klopp demands of them. You look at some of the injuries, though, like they're new players. Like, they've got to get used to it. Like, you know, Sabol-Sai's injured now. You know, he's a new player. Like, he's never played under Klopp before. So, you know, it's all about getting used to it. Gravenberch has been injured already this season. Nunez has been injured quite a lot. Like, I'm starting to feel like Nunez could be a bit of an injury-prone player. Like he's had about 5 or 6 injuries now.
Oh, well, I
Like
hope
some of them
not.
are random, like shin, cuts, calves, groin. Like, you know, they're a bit here and there, really, aren't they? Some of those injuries. Jota gets injured quite a lot. Diaz gets injured quite a lot. You know, Jones gets injured quite a lot. Like, are we blaming Klopp, or are these just injury-prone players? Because Salah doesn't get injured.
Look, let's just say this: the way
Gakpo doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
No.
Virgil van Dijk doesn't get injured.
No.
You know, there's players that don't get injured, and there's players who do get injured.
And he never gets injured as well as Mo. You know, he never gets injured. And before the injury to Trent, he never gets injured either.
Not really. He hasn't missed a huge amount.
Injury.
So you have to look at it like that. Like, you also have to look at, you know, our midfield are just, there's a lot of battling going on. Like, you know, those injuries today, one of them, like Jones, kind of got caught on the side of the ankle and then twisted it as he fell. That was just inoculate, really. That could have happened to anybody. Like, they played a rough game, like, but it's a man's sport. Like, you know, they fell around a lot when we tackled them. And some of them,
considering the size of them, like
15 fouls to 4 in that game, which is nuts. Like, it was very one-sided referee-wise. But
look, here's the
Jota's
thing
injury, a guy fell on him. Like,
yeah,
it's a little bit like
the way Klopp plays. You're gonna get hamstring injuries because it's labour intensive. You have to accept that. So if he goes and we have less, that'll be great. If he goes and we have even more, I'll be pissed off. But I'm hoping that when we have less heavy metal football and more of a possession-based game, hopefully under Xabi, that we just won't have as many hamstring injuries and we won't have as many players out for like 3-4 months. If Jota's out for the season, mate, my head will be bloody wrecked.
I agree. I totally agree. What do you think, JK? Well, Lee's just said if Jota's out for the, if he is out for the season, don't forget that he went on crutches.
For fuck's sake, man! What cost?
Yeah, but Darwin left the game after the Chelsea game. He left on crutches as well. So until it's official, I'll just wait on the IO news.
Yeah, it's just nuts. And this is a. Oh, where's the other fella gone? Where's the 12th gone? He must have gone for the ball. There he is.
Yeah.
I'll start with you on this. Will our new manager get along with FSG?
I mean, if Richard knows who our new manager is going to be,
mate.
I know.
I'm going to go to you right now.
I have no idea. Yeah,
Go ahead,
if Richard knows who's the next manager, please do tell us all. I mean, I don't know who's going to be the next manager, so I don't know if he's going to necessarily get along with FSG or not. But let's just be honest, FSG does. They have been successful. I mean, our club has been successful last almost 10 years now. Practically, we've been successful with FSG under the helm, and you just got to hope for the best that they can make it all happen. I don't necessarily have a great answer for that one.
Well, I have my own take on FSG, to be honest. What it is, people like yourself, saying, they've been good and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to put more investment into Liverpool, I'm convinced that Liverpool would have won at least another Champions League, possibly 2, because we should have beat Real Madrid on both occasions, by the way. Also, we would definitely have won another Premiership. That's if they would have invested. And I keep harping back to this, and it's a fine thing that for 4 years we didn't sign a midfielder. The last midfielder we signed was a big injury-prone player, and that was Thiago. So, I'll go to you on that. Will our next manager get on at FSG. Well, if Marino was coming in, or Pep, for example, not Lindsay's, but Pep, Guardiola, I don't think they'd get on with them. What's your take on that, K-Man?
So just to roll that back, if you're not signing a midfielder in 4 years, then I'm not blaming FSG for that. I'm blaming the manager.
Okay.
And let's be honest, the manager actually admitted he was wrong, and he
That
needed a
is a good
midfielder.
point.
Like,
It's a very
so
good point,
I'm blaming
because
him.
I've always pointed it out myself.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate here as well. Wouldn't it be really funny if the new manager got loads of money and spent loads of money every season?
The irony.
I'd love to see the FSG people come out now. You know, the FSG haters come out then, because we know the reason why then. But we also know that Klopp doesn't like a big squad, and we know that he doesn't like spending money. We know that. like we've got enough evidence from his previous that he doesn't do that often. Doesn't spend a huge amount of money. He doesn't have a huge squad in any of his teams because he likes everything to be really tight knit. He likes everyone to be like a family. You know, he doesn't want huge egos. He doesn't want huge amount of players. That's just the way Klopp is. And the reason why we're doing so well this season is because we have got a bigger squad. But he's having to use that. He's having to use your Quances. He's having to use your Bradleys. You know, McConnell's, Elliott's more. You know, he's bringing these players in, and they're doing a job for us. So it's great. The new manager will get on fine with FSG because FSG will pick a manager that can work to their model. Because if they don't do that, then I have no fucking idea what they're doing. Because that's what they've got to do. They've got to get a guy that's going to work for them and work for the fans.
Of course, and it's the fans mostly. It's the fans mostly. See, if Xabi Alonso came in, the Liverpool fans will give him time. But I was fed up today looking at that Frank's face. I was just fed up looking at him. Miserable sod he is. You know, at least when the opposition score, you get like smiles and everything else out of Jürgen. But to be honest, Franks is not a Liverpool manager, and neither is De Zerbi, in all my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I'm being honest there. So I'd like to see a manager coming in who's got the Liverpool way, and that is Xabi Alonso. Whether he will get the money, I don't know, because we've been promised so many summers of a war chest, and we've never had a war chest unless we sold somebody, if you know what I mean. So, what do you think there, 12, about your fellow countryman, FSG, and investment? Do they invest in the club? I'm not talking about building a new stand. I'm not interested in that. I'm not talking about new facilities.
But you're saying, well, how do I feel about the stewardship they've done for the club, or?
No. You know, do you think that they should put more investments into the team?
You know what? This is what I considering where we're at with spending in the Premiership, meaning like how we're seeing so many of these clubs that have spent big, like your Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest spent a lot of money to make their club right, and obviously they didn't get it all right. Not necessarily, not just with the performance on the pitch, but I'm talking about with the profit and sustainability rules now that are in place. And I know we could have and possibly should have spent differently in the past years, but that's water under the bridge. Now, if anything, I'm hoping that FSG continues to plot the right steps, which I think they did this past summer, were some really, really well placed steps. We talked about the really great signature of Endo. A lot of people thought that was like A lot of people said that was too much money for Endo, much less just to even go for a player like Endo. People were kind of like over the moon somewhat about Gravenberch, but McAllister, shrewd signing. When we spent the money, they went out of the pocket for Dom, to get Dom, to bring in Dom, another big time expenditure. So I can understand that we probably could have and should have, but we didn't. And more so now, maybe because we didn't, we're not in the same problems as your cities or your Manchester Uniteds or your Chelseas or all these top tier teams that are in problems because they've spent so much money. And if Arsenal's not careful, they could be in that same boat too. Talk about, they spent 100 some odd million for Rice. Now they're talking about probably spending another 100 some odd million but for a Tony or something on that level. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And you just can't keep spending. This PSR, the way that they're coming down on this stuff now is you can't just spend freely. It's not the Wild Wild West anymore.
Well, okay.
I wish they'd come down on it quickly, that FFP thing.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. I understand about the FFP and all this. I really do.
Do you? Bloody hell, I try to understand it. Have you ever tried understanding that FFP? It's a mishmash of unfathomable rules and alleged, what's the word? Rules. That's it. Alleged. It's a mishmash of alleged rules and supposed faux pas. When you read it all, it's like, well, that doesn't make bloody sense.
Okay. I want JK, what about you? Do you think that we should throw more investments or do they throw enough? It's a simple question. Because I know lots of fans who say they should put more investments on the pitch.
I would say this. If Salah is sold in the summer and then they use that money to introduce the new guy in, that is typical FSG. So we've got to be cautious there. I think them guys, it's like John Henry's like born in a wishing well, He's like come to Liverpool, put down 300 million, turned it into like 5 billion, and he's done it within 3 years. And if it wasn't for Klopp, like I could probably be like
today if it wasn't for Klopp.
Yeah,
we'd be in the doldrums. Yeah. We really, I don't care what.
And Klopp, sometimes I don't understand Klopp when he knows he needs certain players to play in certain positions and he doesn't want to buy them or he doesn't want to disturb the owners for that cash. I don't understand it why he would bring that stress on himself. Like last season, for example, I think that interview he did when he said he's leaving, I think he's sort of disappointed in FSG that they haven't supported him financially all the way in certain deals and stuff. He's worked hard, Jurgen, with what he's been given. So FSG, they're very shrewd guys. They've made their money, and I think they can increase. I think Brian was saying that even if they gave Klopp 100 million not every summer, but every second summer, for example, fans would have been happy. So
no, I think that's a very good comment, and I'm going to go to 2 comments here. All right, 2 comments, and one by Soulboy. I know it won't happen, but do you think I'm going straight to UK, man. Do you think we should concentrate on 1 or 2 competitions now?
No, because we're favourites for the Europa League. We're favourites for the FA Cup now because a lot of teams have played each other, and there's a lot of teams that are playing each other. So the biggest opposition are probably out of that cup. We're top of the league by 5 points. So we've got the best running. We've got a better running than Man City. We've got kind of the same running as Arsenal. I would say we're probably joint favourites now for the Prem. I would say we're probably level on par with Man City. If we beat Man City at Anfield, I think we'll win the Prem. I do.
Yeah. I go along with that.
I think it kind of depends now. Like if we've just got 3 injuries today and they're out for, 2 months, say, yeah, and the goalkeeper's out for maybe another month, we probably do have to maybe look at that as we can't play the same players over and over again for every single game. Virgil van Dijk is going to need to come out at one stage. McAllister will have to come out. Endo will have to come out, because these are just going to get played all the time. Salah hasn't really played a lot lately, so he's probably okay for a while. But you are probably going to have to look at maybe swapping some of these players out eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I think Soulboy, I think that's what he means, to be honest, okay? Because I know it won't happen, but do you think we should
But I wouldn't play the kids against Southampton. No. I'd still play a few seniors. I would go to win the Southampton game. We've got a really good chance of getting far in that FA Cup now.
Yeah, we have.
Some big teams are out.
We should just concentrate on winning games.
Jürgen's not a manager that plays. Sorry, Jay. Jürgen's not a manager that plays weak teams usually. He might have done it a few times in the Carabao Cup or the FA, but now we've got a bigger squad. He's not the type of manager that plays weak teams in games and takes teams lightly. I think he'll try and go all the way. For me, I'd like the Prem and the Europa League, because it'd be a repeat of the doubles of 72-73 under Shankly and 75-76 under Paisley, which then led us on to 2 European Cups in 77 and 78. So that's what I'd really like them to.
I think this is a good one because they've been listening to us, which is great, and it's Boom Boom. And he says Klopp was adamant that he didn't need another midfielder at the time. And I totally agree with you. Because as you said, Kamer, he finally came out and said on the penultimate day of, the window closing, and he said, "You were right, I was wrong," to the journalist in the press conference. And what did he do on the final day? He brought in Melo. Now, I follow Serie A, by the way. I knew that Artur Melo, was injured. And I said, what's he doing? But this is a panic little thing to bring in a midfielder because he was admitting he was wrong. And that was the downfall of our season, by the way. But what I want to break up as well is that when we went, the season before last for the quadruple, we were the only ones there, the only ones going for a quadruple. And it's the same now. We're the only ones that are going for another quadruple. And it's just unfortunate about these bloody injuries, which is absolutely horrendous. Anyway, Boom
Arthur Melo was a hologram. Okay.
Yes.
He was AI. He was artificial intelligence. He was AI. Okay. Just letting you know.
Come on, let's be honest. I don't think Klopp wanted Arthur Melo. He wanted an
he wanted him then.
He wouldn't give him one, so he got him.
He's actually having a good season, by the way. I think he plays for Fiorentina.
Does anybody ever remember him? I do. Coming on against Barca. Against Liverpool, Barca at Anfield.
Yes, I do. I love the name Arthur. I like the name Arthur, so I remember him. Arthur's a good name.
He was the 5th most expensive transfer in football history.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. When he went to Juve.
When he went to Barcelona.
When he went to Barca, yeah. Okay. I thought he went from Barca to Juve. That was the big record. It's incredible, isn't it? But anyway, Leverkusen, Soulboy, Leverkusen win again. So Alonso still on target. There came out.
Yeah, I hope he takes Pep's record. That'd be good.
Frimpong scored again. How about that?
9 goals.
So what do you think? And our 12th man, I'll go straight to him because he's put up a little comment. Frimpong has given Alphonso Davies vibes, but from the right side instead of left. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that Frimpong is he's rapid. He's he's got great pace. And Alphonso Davies, although he doesn't want to play left back reportedly, and he wants to play more of like a left wing, but Alphonso Davies is another fast, very active player on the left side, and it's difficult to take on players that like that if you're a defensive player, at least when they can go by you so easily if they just turn on the afterburners. And Frimpong's got that in his locker. That's what I was trying to get across.
Okay, I'm going to K-Mac here because I don't think one of the comments before, I don't know whether you were here or you were on or whatever, and the comment was, who would you like to sign next summer for this team? Who would you like to see come in?
It depends on the man. Can you come back to us? My dog's going crazy.
Oh, okay. Yes. He's got to look at his stats books.
He's find the answer. Sepp van der Berg scored for Mainz today.
K-Mac, you gotta tell your dog that you're live. You gotta tell your dog you're live on the air.
I've got to tell the dog from barking next door.
Oh,
because he set the other one off.
Okay.
It all depends on what manager we get, if I'm honest. So if we do get Xabi Alonso, then an explosive right back or explosive left back would be great. Like that would be absolutely fantastic. Frimpong, bloody hell, like he scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. I think he's on 10 goals or 9 goals this season. And they signed him from Celtic. Like, what a player he's been. I think he's like 24. If I'm honest, I would probably go for I would probably go for the Canadian, Alphonso Davies. I think he's quite possibly one of the best left backs in the world right now. I think he's like 23. Like he's an absolute monster. He would be incredible for Alonso on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he's a great player, really Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, he really would.
Munich were lucky there to get him. Like
he would be a great replacement for Robbo. Like he would. If we're going to play that way. I would say a really important position for us is left-sided wing back position. Another midfielder, like a Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi would be amazing for Alonso, and even for another manager that I think we're probably going to look at. He's probably going to be high on the list in Ruben Amorim. I even think like a right-sided attacker would be good as well, just in case the scenario with Salah has got legs.
Well, Lee came out and said we need a left-sided centre back. I agreed with him, and I mentioned Nkapi. I think he's brilliant, that lad, and he's a left-sided centre back as well.
I mean, Frimpong's got like a £35 million release clause, by the way.
Has he?
Yeah, which is insane. Nkapi's got like a £50 million release clause. I would probably go for Ignacio, if I'm honest, if I'm going for a left-sided centre-back, especially if we're looking at Amorim, because he plays for him.
To be honest,
and he's absolutely sensational.
There's no way Bayern Munich are going to let go of Alphonso Davies, mate. It just ain't going to happen. So
he plays for Tuchel. Like, if they keep Tuchel, then anyone could leave Bayern Munich. Like he's dropping, he's dropping like De Ligt and some of his centre backs to play bloody Eric Dyer. Like seriously.
If we were a richer club like City are, then I'd say we probably could get Alphonso Davies. We could get Frimpong, but I don't think we could get Davies off Bayern Munich. I don't think that's going to happen.
Like if I could pick 3 players right now,
yeah,
and they would be signed, and we're getting Alonso, yeah, I'd pick Alphonso Davies, yeah, I would pick Zubimendi, and I would pick Musiala.
Whoa.
What about
those 3?
But again, it's the
Jamal Musiala. I picked those 3, and the rest of our squad. We could really go at it for like 4 years.
Okay, would you still keep Mo this summer? By the way.
Yeah. I want Mo. By the way, like I've been on shows and people think that I want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of Mo. Like,
no, I've never heard you there.
But I do think the transfer of him leaving has got legs. Like, you can't say that it hasn't. Like, if they come in with like a £200 million bid, you can't say that the FSG won't look at that and go, the guy's 30, the guy's 32. He's played with us for a very long time. Like, that's a lot of money for a guy that they paid 36 million for. Like, you know what I mean? It's
for them. Yeah.
The new manager might go, you know what? I'll take 200 million for a guy that might only have like 2 years left. Who knows? But I'll take that, and I'll use that to get a Musiala. You know what I mean?
I can't see 200 million.
Or a Sane. You know what I mean?
I can't see 200 million.
Would you bring Sane in?
No. I wouldn't, but you just don't know, do you? Like,
yeah, true enough.
Or a Wirtz. Like, a Wirtz is going to cost like 100 million.
Yes.
Like, everyone talks about like getting him off Zabi. Like, he's going to cost 100 million.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm going to ask now, lads. It's going to be the next 2 games, but I don't want you to. I want you to concentrate on the midweek game, right? Would you be very careful in bringing back? You know, how can I put this? Would you be very careful? You mentioned the young kids before. Now, don't forget, we're 5 points clear in the league up to now. 5 points. The league is very precious to us. Now we've got a final next Sunday. So what would you do? And I'm going straight to you, K-Mac, lads. I'm sorry, you're in the seat again. What would you do in midweek? Would you rest players, put it that way?
So midweek, I think Gomez comes in. That's got to happen. I don't know who's going to come out. Maybe Virgil, maybe Robbo. I don't know. Like, Robbo's played another full match there. Maybe it's a bit too much to give him another full match. Maybe bring in Shimikas. He's been on the bench. So play Shimikas. Play Gomez. Obviously, Gravenberch is going to play on the left now because Jones is probably going to be out. Endo, we probably play Endo again. Maybe take McAllister out. Maybe play Elliott. Salah will play because he needs match fitness. Gakpo and Diaz. Yeah, maybe give Diaz another run. I think Bradley will probably play. I've kind of picked the team there, haven't I?
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, team. That's a brilliant team, to be honest, because we're keeping. I call them the A-listers, but God blimey, they were A-listers as well. To be honest,
they're playing like A-listers.
Exactly. What about you?
We can play Canate again. Canate missed the last game, so he's had a break.
Yeah.
So
he did.
He was unbelievable today, Canate. Unbelievable.
He was brilliant. But I think the way you mentioned him before, by the way. He never gets injured, and that's Virgil. And I think he'll just play him. I just think he'll play him, to be honest, in midweek and in the final as well. What about you, 12? What kind of players would you rest? Would you rest the likes of Maka, for example? Would you, rest, Even Enzo, would you rest him? And things like that, go on. Players like it.
It is a good question. It is certainly a good question. I don't. Again, I know that the medical team does provide them minutes as to how many minutes they're going to be prescribed to play, or how many minutes we're going to like actually see. I think a lot of the positions on this going forward are picking themselves. Though, to be honest with you, there's certain players like Salah. There's certain players like VVD. If they're healthy, they play. It's that simple. I don't think you can even tell them not that they shouldn't play. They'll probably tell you, "What are you kidding me? I want to play." So I don't know if I would go with a completely rotated squad just because it's Luton. Look, Luton's going to try to get a result. Luton's on the verge of they're right on the cusp of possibly being in relegation. So, they've got plenty to play for. And a lot of these players just need to recognize the fact of it doesn't necessarily matter if you start or you don't start. You just got to perform. It's the biggest thing is that we need some real good performances out of everyone, whether you're a youth player, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a fringe player, whether you're a squad player, whatever your role is on this team. We need everyone to band together and really get some types of stellar performances, because no game is going to be an easy game, no matter who the opponent is.
Okay, what about you, JK? Is he there?
Yeah, it just depends on who's on board, who's available. I think that's the thing on Wednesday. Thank God it's Luton. It's not a top 6 team or whatever it is. So I just think Klopp tomorrow needs to have a look who's available, because we've got the game on Sunday as well. So I think Klopp will have to, Virgil 100% starting. Maybe we'll see Salah starting as well. And as soon as we've wrapped up the game, it will bring certain guys off for Wednesday.
Okay, well, my daughter, Francine, says out of all the players injured, Jota is the main one. Lee, is he?
Yes, for me he is, for his goals. The thing about Luton is they're not an easy team to beat. I think even at their ground or at anyone else's ground, they haven't been stuffed, have they? So I'm not up for us resting players. Okay, we've got the cup final after it, but I'm not really up for us resting players against Luton. Any players. I think we should play our best team and get the points. And then we'll take the final the way we take the final.
Okay, what about you, Kay? I've got to ask you, again, like Francine has said, out of all the players injured, Jota is the main one. Or would you be a collective and say, well, they're all important, or would you agree with Francine?
They're all important. I think the biggest one that worries me is Nunez, because we don't actually know what's wrong with Nunez. He went in at half time and he didn't come back out again. Nunez scored the goal which put us in the driving seat for the game, kind of settled the whole game down. Otherwise it could have been a sticky second half, because we had an injury. We had 2 injuries actually by then. Nunez is the pace setter. Nunez kind of pushes the opposition back, tires their players out big time. I think he's really, really important. Jota's brilliant, by the way, but you just look at how good Mo was when he came on. Goal and an assist. Mo can fill that gap, but Nunez gets their players to a certain stress level, which makes the game easier for us, which means we can play our game and not their game. Curtis Jones is a big miss as well, by the way.
You're so spot on. I made up you said that. I'll tell you for why. Because I started off with the lads And I said to them, this is my question. Without hindsight, I says, without hindsight, when Nunes didn't come out for the second half, what were your thoughts? You've answered my thoughts, by the way. You answered my thoughts because I was worried. I really was that, it could be a bad injury. So made up with that, made up what you said there, K-Man. You answered the
Jones is a
door.
big loss as well, by the way, because Jones just
Yeah,
controls
he is.
games, never gives the ball away. I
No.
think Jones will be a big loss in the final. I hope he's not out for the final. I want him to play well in a final and win a cup.
Well, I think one of the lads has
He
said that he's
deserves it.
damaged his ankle ligaments. So that's
He really deserves it to go out and,
yeah.
play like a captain, if I can say that, in midfield. Like, he's been so good this season. It's such a shame.
We're really short, aren't we, now in midfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with it. What about Justin? Justin says, I would love to see Sabozzo fit. Sabozzo, that is.
I don't think Dom's going to be fit for the final. Klopp said.
No. And this is it, so Justin misses him. We all miss him, to be honest. And when I mentioned, look, I'm feeling raw. Jota is now a huge miss. Jota is our best centre forward. He's a natural goal scorer. But when you look at, I said before, K-Mac, when that ball came over, when Virgil booted it up, big route one, and it came over, he wasn't looking if you know what I mean. He wasn't looking at the flight of it. And he waited and waited until it came in sight and he headed it. That header for the pass must be the pass of the season.
It's the assist of the season, isn't it?
Yes.
No,
the assist of the season, that
unbelievable.
was for me. It's the assist of the season, that, like, innit? He didn't even look, did he? He just let it hit him on the head and went, there you go.
But also, the header that was won in the box by Endo for Virgil to kick it was just sensational. Like, he had three players around him.
Yeah, he did. And as something TW says, Nunes was taken off as a precaution, said Klopp, so he's okay.
Well, we've heard that.
And I
before.
think he'll keep him back. I think he'll keep him back midweek. It's only what he was saying. I think he will keep Darwin back for the game in midweek, to be honest. So listen, lads, I've got to ask you. And I'm going to go straight to the 12th. Straight to you. And I'm going to end with UK, man. I've got to. Right. The cup final. Next week, next Sunday. 3 o'clock kickoff. I think it's about 10 o'clock in the morning to you there, 12.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see play? Part of the injuries as well.
I was going to say, I'd like to see Diego play. I'd like to see Curtis Jones play. I'd like to see. I'd even like to see Thiago play. But all the same, I'm very interested to see Cody. I'm interested to see what Cody's going to bring us. I'm hoping that this is going to kick off, a resurgence. I know. Lee was saying that he does appreciate his play. He does think that he's playing well this year. I do too. I just don't think he's. I think that he has been searching a little bit since the Spurs match. I think today was a good day to see him get his goal. I think he took that goal really well. I think it was an understated goal. I mean, really put it by him for the fourth. And I would like to see him. I would like to see him get his goal. I'd like to see. I'm looking forward to Joey start as well. I've been saying it on a couple different. I remember Jean Grey was on your commented on your on your show.
Oh, gee, yeah.
And I made the point of saying, that I'm hoping, or trying to put out in the universe at least, that Joe Gomez gets his goal in that finals. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice little, send off for
In
him.
the 89th minute.
Yeah, exactly. Something dynamic like
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Well, look, the next game we're at home to Luton, so I think Joe should play right back. We don't need Connor at right back because we can destroy Luton. When I say destroy, we can score a goal against Luton with Joe at right back. So I think we should play Joe at right back to keep it tight with Ibu, VVD, and Robbo. I think we should play Joe at right back on Wednesday or whenever the feck it is, you know what I mean? Because I think we just keep it tight, just get a 1-goal win. That's all we need to do. And they are a difficult team. They are a difficult team to break down. So it's not going to be a game where we're going to batter them. So I don't think we really need to have Connor on the right. I think Joe can play the right on Wednesday, and that'll be all fine and good.
Well, that's a great synopsis about the midweek game. I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about who would you like to see play in the final league?
Okay, I'll give you my team now for the final. Because it's Chelsea, I'd go Joe again. I'd go Joe, Ibu, VVD, Robbo. I'd go Enzo. I'd go Mac. Whoever else we've got in midfield. And then I'd go Mo, Nunes, and Gakpo. I'd give Gakpo the start. Just because I like him a little bit more on the left than Diaz. I do like Diaz on the left. But I think Cody's plays on the left a lot, and he has got he's got potential on the left. Cody, he can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play in the middle, he can play in midfield. But I think in that game, in the final, I'd like to see Cody on the left, Nunes central, and Mo on the right.
Okay, JK.
I can't really answer that, bro, because I don't know who's going to be available. But the top 3 guys, Salah, Darwin, Diaz, I would play. I'd bring Gakpo off the bench. I think the midfield would be Endo, McAllister, and maybe Gravenberch. Defense, Kanate, Virgil. The young lad at right back, I would say.
Connor Bradley.
Yeah. I'm impressed with him again today. So, and then maybe then I'll have Gomez on the subs bench and play Robbo left back.
Okay.
And also the goalkeeper, we don't know if Alisson's going to be okay. So I can't really 100% say, yeah, that's the team I want to go with,
Okay.
I'm impressed with Connor too, but I'd like Joe to play in the final. And I'd like him to play on Wednesday. Sorry, Frank.
No, it's all right. It's okay, man. Who is you like to see play, McCabe?
So Keller in goal, because Keller plays the cup game. He's already been told. So even if Ali's fit, Keller still plays, and rightly so. He's been our cup goalkeeper. I think Robbo will play the final because I think Joe will probably play, or Shimaka's will probably play on Wednesday. I can just see that happening. So Robbo will probably play. Unfortunately for Joe, he looked pissed off on the bench today, if I'm honest. If you look at the camera on him, he wasn't happy. And rightly so, but, it's a squad game. I would play Virgil, Kanate. Kanate's been sensational this season. Kanate, for me, has probably been the 3rd or 2nd best centre-back in the league behind Virgil. Seriously, he's been unbelievable this season. I'd play Bradley. And the reason why I play Bradley is because he's already got Chelsea's cards marked because he's already played them this season and we battered them with Bradley in the team. And Bradley had probably the best game I've ever seen a debut at Anfield have. It was unbelievable against Chelsea. So you got to play him. You just got to play him. Midfield, Endo, 100%. McAllister, 100%. If Curtis Jones is fit, then we play Curtis Jones. If he's not, then we play Gravenberch on the left. And then up front, it's got to be Diaz. Diaz is in form now. He's playing really well. Nunes, if he's fit. If Nunes isn't fit, then I'd play Gapco. And then you've got Salah. Salah walks in.
Yeah,
Then you got
Salah.
you got Gomez. You've got Elliott. You've got McConnell. You've got Quansah.
Yeah,
You've got a good subs bench there as well. Even with injuries, you've still got a decent subs bench.
Well, TW gives 2 comments here. Gomez left back for the final. Robbo defensively worries me. Let me finish. Defensively worries me. And TW don't want Bradley playing that inverted crap. We need width. That's what he says. And I think that's 2 very good comments, because leading up to their goal, it was terrible by Robertson, when he tried to take on a player and hit the ball past him and run onto it, bang, and they were away, bang, goal, whatever. And
still about 6 passages of play before the goal, though.
Yeah, no, I understand that. No, I understand.
It was a good save, and if we had a defender, then he would have got that ball. Keller did what he's supposed to do, win the save and push the ball out to where a defender should be, and we just didn't have a defender that was there.
But it was a left-handed, it went in the left-handed side of the net, where a left-sided player should have been. So I'm saying no more on that. If you're saying that a defender should have been there, I'm not saying any more.
Robbo was all right today, by the way. Robbo was all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
But we can't.
I'm replying to TW74's comment. I thought Robbo was all right today.
He started getting his crosses in, didn't he, and started being industrious down the left.
I thought second half he was just more solid. He played a lot further back. He didn't.
I think young Bradley was showing him up in a way by being solid, if you know what I mean, and getting up and down the wing. He was showing Robertson up. But then again, it was a great game he had. It was a really good game that he had. And I'll see him there playing at left back, because Klopp loves him. I can see young Connor Bradley playing at right back. And obviously Virgil and Canete, the 2 centre-halves. What you've never mentioned, Enzo and Maka, in the midfield. What you never mentioned, really, you were saying about Gravenberch. I think Klopp will play Elliott rather than Gravenberch in midfield. I really do. Albeit I think Elliott is more of an impact player coming off the bench. The 3 forwards, Mo gets into the side.
Are you speaking on the final, Frank, or are you speaking on just for Luton?
No, I'm talking about the final. I'm talking about the final there, 12. And Mo walks into it, no matter what. His name is there. Nunes, I think Nunes will be fit, by the way, from what's coming towards me, what I'm getting, these messages. And also Diaz, because as you said, K-Mac, Diaz, today he was very, very good. And no one's really given the credit for getting the ball and going and holding on and going again. And I thought he was exceptional today. I really do. And he frightened, the way you mentioned before about Nunes frightening defenders. He was frightening the defenders. You notice today, if you ever watch a replay or the highlights or whatever, they converged on him. 2, then 3 converged on him on the wing. That's how good he was. That's how threatening he was. So yeah, they're my front 3: Mo, Nunes, and Diaz.
That pass from Mo as well for Max.
Oh
Jesus!
Oh,
there's maybe 3 people in the Premier League that could do that.
Yeah,
one of them is De Bruyne.
And he's one of them.
And the other one's Trent.
The other one's Trent, yeah. The other one's Trent.
We're spoiled for choice. I want to say the reason I'd like Joe to play on Wednesday and Sunday is we haven't kept a clean sheet for a while. And as much as I like Bradley and think he's doing well, I'd like to see us keep a clean sheet if we can on Wednesday.
He took Bradley off though, didn't he? So Bradley plays the next game.
Yeah. I'd just love to see a clean sheet on Wednesday. And if we could possibly have another one on Sunday, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. We just ain't been keeping clean sheets.
Yeah. As long as we get the win. As long as we get the win. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Clean sheets, dirty sheets.
I don't.
Yeah, clean sheets, dirty sheets. I do not care as long as it's a W.
Yeah, but I do want clean sheets going forward to try and win the title. It would be nice if we could keep teams out for once in a while, especially teams in the effing relegation zone like Burnley at Anfield and like Luton coming to Anfield. I would like it if we had North on our bloody sheet.
Okay, all right. I know a couple of them has to go, and I know JK has to go, and I know the 12th has to go. And I'm going to ask them their predictions before they go. 12th prediction for next Sunday, by the way.
For Luton?
No, I'll tell you what. No. Forget next Sunday because I forgot I've got a couple of pods. I think I'm on Thursday. I've got a couple of pods on Tuesday and Thursday. Give you their prediction for Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? We're playing Wednesday, aren't we?
Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday. Go Wednesday.
So my prediction for Wednesday would be I'll give Lee his clean sheets. And I'll go 3-0. I'll go 3-0.
Okay.
Thanks, 12. You're a good man.
What about you, JK?
I'm going with 4-0.
4-0?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you yet, K-Mac, because I want to ask you a question, you and Lee. I hope you're there. I hope you're up for it. But anyway, you've got to go, boys, haven't you?
Yes, Amber.
See you later, guys.
I gotta get a little sleep in. Get a little sleep in.
It's late for 12. It's late.
I'll see you on Tuesday. If you're not too busy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Definitely.
Top of the league.
Top of the league.
Top of the perch.
Top of the league. Yeah, that's top of the league. And I'm going to you. K-Mac, and it's this. I'd like to see Kelleher, Bradley, Canete, Virgil, Robbo, Enzo, Mac, Szoboszlai, if fit, Salah, Nunes, Diaz. That's more or less the team that we've been picking. You know, this is for Sunday. That's more or less the team. Now, I don't know the extent. You might know, K-Man. I really don't know the extent of Szoboszlai's injury.
Klopp said in the last press conference before the Brentford game that he's not going to be ready for the final. He said it at the very last words he said. So I don't think he'll be ready. Like they may push him through for the final because of the injuries we've got. I've got to be honest. I don't want Dom missing for the Man City game and the Tottenham game, and I don't want him missing for those games.
No.
I don't want him missing for Man City.
No.
If you're gonna if you're not gonna play him for the Chelsea game, which I think we could win without him, by the way, because Chelsea are garbage. They're just garbage.
They're my thoughts as well, Kai.
I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk these injuries. I'd even just keep Trent. wrapped up in cotton wool as well for a bit longer if we have to, like for the running. Like the biggest problem we've had with history at Liverpool is we've had injuries at the back end of the season, which have derailed our season because we've got a thin squad, and it's normally been midfielders. So I just don't want that again. Like, so if we have to, don't play him early. Like, Thiago probably shouldn't have been played against Arsenal, and we'd be having a different conversation. But now it looks like Thiago's season's over. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Well,
I think we'll win. I think we'll win 3-1, by the way, because it seems to be our scoreline this season.
Okay.
Like I predicted 3-1 today as well, but obviously it was 4. But I predicted 3-1 today.
Well, as Drunk Vigo says, K-Mac, how about our guy Enzo? We've spoken about him.
Rewind it, mate. I talked about Endo.
Right through.
Endo's fucking sound, mate.
Signing of the season. Signing of the season.
And as he says there, control the tempo of the game, and he did.
Signing of the season.
Yeah, he gave the other midfielders and the forward players a bit more license to do their thing, didn't he? They knew they had Endo. I mean, Mac's done all right, but Mac ain't a 6, is he? I've said it, and I don't want to say it again too vociferously that I don't think Mac is a 6. Mac could be a 6 in a 3-5-2, but in a 4-3-3, I don't feel that Mac is our 6.
Well, the thing is,
we take away a lot of Mac's positives by playing him as a 6.
We do,
and it's goal threat, it's assists, it's creation. We take away that from Mac, and the biggest problem for me in Mac playing in the 6, the guy loves to get stuck in, and he can't get stuck in because he gets injured. Like the amount of times I've seen him rolling around on the floor because he's playing as a 6, and I'm like, Mac, don't go for that ball. Oh, he's gone for it.
Yeah. It's like us all, and I think it just proved the point there about him getting forwards and playing his natural game. That is the way he ran forward, and most seen that, and he knew where he was going. McAllister, he knew where he was going, and he knew that ball would be played to him, and it was a fantastic ball. What happened? Bang, goal, simple as.
He scored 2.
Yes, he did, and that's the shame. I'm not saying about the depth of the squad or anything like that, but playing out of position, he's better going forward. That's why he scored 10 or 11 goals for Brighton last season. He was better going forward. He was a forward-looking player, and that's why we got him, and that's why it was made up that we got him. But it proves, he can be absolutely sensational as a player.
Second half, that was like the McAllister for Argentina that we've not seen for us yet.
No, what made
we literally haven't seen McAllister at Argentina play for us yet, like until the second half today. So long may it continue.
Yeah, because it's only because of Endo being there, playing the role that they had Macca playing, most of the season, if you know what I mean. And since the other fella, Enzo, went away to the Asian Cup thing. So, he is. And I think now he's a strong lad, isn't he? Look, as Drunk says there, Enzo frees up Mac, and he does free
Glad you didn't
him
say
up.
K-Mac at the end.
But anyway, I'm gonna end it there.
I'm called K-Mac, by the way, because my name's Chris McAvoy, so that's why.
Yeah. But we like calling you K because you're the man.
It's my DJ name. It was my DJ name and my artist name.
But look at look at them names there, though. Justin F. Ante. That's a cracker, isn't it? And you got the Anfield Roar,
The
drunk
thing with
view.
Mac is, we're not saying he can't tackle and he can't play the six. We're just saying he's not the world's greatest six, and he's not the fastest player, and he's not the world's greatest tackler. And he does seem to be getting like a knock in games like ridiculously easily when someone like knocks him or something. So he shouldn't be playing there, mate. It's not his position.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Today he didn't roll around on the floor. He didn't have the physio come on today, so you just can't have answered that because he didn't have to play that position.
Yeah.
But as the drunk says, Enzo allows Mac to play to his strengths. That's what we've been just talking about.
He controlled the game second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And, let's celebrate the great win.
It's a great win.
It was a great win.
I think people have underestimated how big a win that is.
I think they are, because of
Brentford scored 3 corners the last time we played them at their ground, and 2 of them were disallowed. They got 1 corner today. Like, we really, really put in a statement of intent today.
Yeah.
They're an awful opponent.
They're a horrible team to play. Like,
they are.
I don't want to see Thomas Frank football at Anfield, so I don't want this guy.
No. When he was showing his face constantly all the time. And I said, I don't want to see him at Anfield.
They spend so much time rolling around on the floor and kicking the ball up in the air. And you really want to see that at Anfield?
Have you seen the size of their players as well?
Something I can say that we've always had at Liverpool as a team is we're honest. Like, we don't roll around on the floor. Like, sometimes we sit there and we go, God, why didn't you go down for the penalty? Like, that's just the way we are.
Do you think that I forgot to mention this? Do you think that was a penalty? I do.
What, on Jota?
On Diaz. No, on Diaz, when he was going through and he kicked his left foot. You don't see it.
Yeah, that's a pen.
That was a penalty.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it didn't take his leg that he was kicking the ball with.
Yeah.
He clattered him. It's a penalty.
Exactly. And he went.
And they looked at it. What were they looking at?
Exactly.
I missed that one. I must have been.
I thought Robbo gave away a pen. I'm going to be honest.
He did.
He just barged into him.
Yeah, that was mad.
That was a penalty.
Michael Oliver is the best referee in the Premiership without a shadow of a doubt.
He didn't have control of that game, Frank.
I don't
well, he didn't have the control.
He didn't have control of that.
He didn't have the control of those.
Diving. There was so much bad fouling in that game. He should have got the yellow cards out straight away. He didn't.
Yeah, the yellow cards should have come out
too long.
Can I come in here and say this? Right. Now, you only mentioned about something. Now, when Núñez, remember, I think it was against Burnley, he got frustrated and he went through and he kicked the ball into the advertising audience, right? And it just went right back to him anyway, and he got booked for that. Now, you're seeing, I don't know, I think it was Tony. Yeah, it was Tony. And he got the ball, and he was a bit frustrated when the ball went out for a goal kick, and he kicked it away. Why didn't he get booked for that? I thought that's a booking offence for kicking the ball away.
I mean, we have to really look at that today because, like, we played against 12 men. Like, we did. Like, the referee gave away 4 fouls for them and 15 for us. Tell me how that makes sense. Because I've seen so many fouls in that game.
Well, considering we were battering them and had all the possession, it is a bit strange, isn't it, that they only had 4 fouls and we have 15.
Crazy.
Considering we had all the ball and they hardly did much to us apart from a couple of tossy free kicks from the left. Do you know what I mean?
Like, even our injuries weren't fouls, by the way.
Yeah.
They weren't giving us fouls.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, there was possibly 2 penalties in that game for us as well, because I thought Jota was a penalty as well. Because I thought they barged Jota like Robbo barged their player, basically. Just ran into their player and just shoved him to the floor. Like, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, it was 4-1, statement of intent. It could have been 6, if I'm honest. We move on.
I think that's it. It's only what you're saying there, Kay, there. Justin says, you know, you can't downgrade this win. 4-1 away at Brentford. Thomas Frank's 100th game with injuries. Amazing performance. And I go along with him.
Spot on.
And as Arthur says, we are simply the best. And it was. And Justin says, it was a pen for me. Drunk, the tackle on Jota could have been a penalty, in my opinion. And as he says, a rugby tackle. The Prem, Drunk says, he loves getting these in. The Prem are against Liverpool always. And he finishes off by saying, it's a conspiracy. Fact. There you go.
I wouldn't go as far as conspiracy, but there's a lot of refs and officials that don't like us and won't give us anything. And today's game was a prime example of us getting given lots of fouls against us and them not giving fouls for.
Yeah. K-Mac, will you come on Tuesday? I'd like to introduce you to George Scott and Mario Manzos. Will you come on Tuesday?
Yeah, come on Tuesday.
The link will be sent.
Okay.
The link. See, Jason's not here, unfortunately. He's not here today. And he knows to send you the link. The likes of the rest of the crew as well. And I'd just like to say, if anyone's still listening in, if you ever want to appear, let me know. And I'll have you on. I'll have you on just like Lee, just like K-Mac. I'll have you on. That'll be great to get your comments, because we try to read all the comments out and discuss them. And thank you very much. K-Mac, pleasure, mate, all the time. Honestly, great to have you.
Pleasure. Big up, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Top of the league.
Absolutely. We're the boys. The boys are over the hill, I think. I mean, coming over the hill, that is.
Now I'm going to support Chelsea.
If I'm not mistaken in saying, I think we'll still be top of the league after the cup final, won't we?
Yeah, we've only got to play Luton. That's it. Defeat them. And then no matter what happens, the party will still be top of the league.
Depends about this Man City Chelsea game. It's a hard game, not an easy game for them.
No.
Chelsea have got a bit of form, and also they've got a player there called Cole who definitely wants to play well against his old team, because they dumped him.
Yeah, they did jump on.
Gotta go, guys. See you later, man.
Thank you so much, Jay. See you later.
Bye.
See you later, mate. Cheers, mate. Charlie Wood. Charlie, we're going now. We're finished. And as Anfield Raw says, great show, lads. Thank you so much, Anfield Raw. You're supposed to come on and we haven't heard from you. Anyway, Lee, cheers, mate.
Top of the league, we love.
Top of the league. Not only top of the league, I think we'll go on to win it. I really do.
Top of the league, Francis, love.
Let's be, positive. Let's be positive.
Why not? It's all going good, isn't it? It's all going good.
I might give it a ring later on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, people, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And please, look, here's the Anfield Raw saying, I'm coming, lads. I hope so, Anfield Raw. I will have you talking about all things Liverpool, all things positive, and get the negativity away. That's the what I say. Negativity. No negativity, but lads.
Be gone, negative thoughts. Never come back to my mind.
All the we do get upset, especially when we get beat, especially the likes of the Arsenal game. oh, it's shocking, especially.
I can't watch the footy for a couple of days when we get beat. I just avoid the footy when we get beat because it can't be asked talking online when we get beat. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you're on every week, because we don't get beat every week, do we? Think about it. Think about it. Anyway, Lee, thank you so much, fella. And I might give you a ring later on, because you know that I can't text, with my arms and that. I know it sounds
Oh no, my bloody phone's broken. I've got that landline shite, like, but the actual mobile phone thing's broke until I get a new one. So if you phone me, it's on. Did I give you the number for that? The bastard landline. You know me, what I said to you, I've never had a mobile phone in my life, mate.
I'll have a look.
I've got one, but like, I only got it
Like, a number, and
years ago or
some shit. Bloody number once, didn't you? Anyway, I'll have a look later, because Charlie says, you never walk alone. Thank you, Charlie. Anfield Row. You've gone Hollywood now, Frank, with K-Mac and the 12th man. And he carries on by saying, see you lads, and there's a few pints, a few scotches and everything else for us. And it's just for me to say, thank you. I'm absolutely knackered. Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Cheers, people. Keep the faith, top of the league, and we ain't going nowhere. I don't think we're going nowhere. No one's going to knock us off the top of the league, mate. It ain't going to happen.
That's what they say. That's what that girl used to sing. She was an awful singer. Like, the only way is up. That'll do me.